Hi Taurus, here is your ex-partner reading for the month of September 2017. I've already laid out the cards. This is going to be the row for you and this will be for your ex-partner. Quite often, as I always remind you, the messages and energies can go vice versa. So please keep that in mind, okay? Now, up here for you in the present situation, you've got the Chariot. It is major arcana. The thing with the Chariot card, it is referred to as the Victory card. But it's about forward movement. And I think, you know, what this card is representing is that in some form or another, you're wanting there to be some forward movement here. You're wanting maybe to be able to take steps in order to maybe work out a reconciliation. Maybe you're hoping for some forward movement to come from your ex-partner. Now, the card they've got the Three of Pentacles. And this is a card about making plans and putting those plans into action. The fact of the matter is the plans could be in concern to this relationship with you. But it could also be talking about them making plans that are to do with another area of their life, okay? Maybe their work and their career, their finances. It could be any number of any number of areas of their life. But in terms of how you're feeling, you've got the Eight of Swords here. The thing with the Eight of Swords, it's about facing up to something. It's about taking that blindfold off. And yes, on some level, being able to free yourself from something. Because there's something here that's holding you back. It may be that you're being held back in terms of being able to express how you feel. And you might even be a little bit fearful about saying how you feel to your ex-partner because you may not be entirely sure of their reaction and how they are feeling about you. It may also be that you're choosing to keep yourself in this position, keeping the blindfold on, because you're not wanting to face up to the reality that maybe for some of you, this relationship is done. It can go two ways here. Now, the card that they've got in terms of their feelings, they've got the Three of Cups. The thing with the Three of Cups, it does talk about celebrations. But it can also talk very much about friendships here. It may be that they are choosing to spend their time with their friends. It can talk about going out, socializing, partying and having fun, okay? The thing with that card is I often feel that it talks more about feelings and loving relationships, but more from friendship rather than, you know, a personal relationship. They may be viewing you or thinking of you in a loving way, but more in terms of a friend. But maybe also for some of you, your ex-partner may just be going out socializing and being with their friends and really not concentrating or making any effort towards contacting you, communicating with you. In terms of the outcome, we've got down here the Queen of Cups. When this Queen is in this reverse position, yes, it could be for some of you that you're dealing with a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. But I see this more in terms of how you're feeling. And when this Queen of Cups is in this position, it talks about how you may feel as though you're forced or being prevented in some way to say and speak up about how you really feel inside. Similar energy to that Eight of Swords. See, with the Eight of Swords, it talks about not wanting to face something, maybe not wanting to deal with the reality of something. The Queen of Cups comes from more of a place of emotions. And, you know, she can be seen as being very secretive when she's in this reverse position. I think it's more because you are wanting to speak up to your ex-partner. You're wanting to say what you think and how you feel. But I think that you are maybe fearful of the reaction from them. The card that they've got the Major Arcana, the Hangman, which is in the reverse position. Ordinarily, it would look like that. I see two aspects with this Hangman. One, because the Hangman literally hangs around in order to gain a fresh perspective. And, you know, the Hangman is choosing to keep himself waiting, keeping himself suspended. The thing when it's reversed, this man is no longer hanging from this tree. He's just stood there and he's not making any forward movements. The thing when it's like this, it can talk about a refusal to change. A refusal maybe to examine their true attitudes. And it can be about, see, the thing I see with this is sometimes it can talk about somebody that's gained this new insight, that's gained this fresh perspective, but is not choosing to do anything with it. But it can also be seen as somebody that has an opportunity here to gain a fresh perspective. But is choosing not to do that because they don't want to maybe deal with the fact that their actions and their attitudes could be partly responsible for this situation. See, what I see here is I see on your side somebody that wants forward movement here. Somebody that is wanting to talk about the issues that you've both had. Somebody that's wanting to open up. But you know that you're dealing with somebody that either is not prepared to listen or is kind of blaming you for everything. I think you're dealing with somebody else that is quite stubborn, and to some degree, somebody that is quite selfish, and somebody that I think is wanting to put all the responsibility onto your shoulders as to why this relationship has broken down. When all the while, I think they need to examine their own actions, the part that they've played in this. But the problem is, as long as they're not going to see things from your side, from your point of view, it's going to make you feel reluctant to speak up. Because it may feel almost like you're kind of banging your head against a brick wall here. And I think, as I said, you've still got this hope for there to be some victory in this situation. But I think the blindfold at some point has got to come off. And I think you've got to see on some level that you're dealing with somebody that maybe is quite narcissistic, is only thinking about themselves. And if you're dealing with somebody like that, then it's always going to be a one-way street here. It's always going to be more about them than it is about you. And I think you're prepared to put the effort in and the work in here, but they're not. At least not for the month of September anyway. So it may be for some of you that it is the time to take the blindfold off and see the reality of this situation, but also see the reality of the other person, of how they truly are. Because I think this Three of Cups is representing them out having fun. And maybe them going out and partying and all of that type of thing. Maybe that was partly responsible as well for the breakup of this relationship. So, Taurus, that does bring this reading to a close. I just think that in this month of September, like I said, the blindfold's got to come off. I'll be back again with your love reading. Thank you. Bye.